Alright guys, welcome to VALORANT News. As the playoffs continue around the world, the Pacific has caused all sorts of drama over the last 24 hours, especially when it comes to Talon versus DRX. Loads of reaction from around the community to what happened on that main stage yesterday, and especially what FrosT had to say after the fact, and what it also means for DRX and Termi. They may well be out of the World Championship if they don't get the result they want against Gen.G, and it could well not be Gen.G in the very near future. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into today. We're going to start with a couple of things. Sato from Lev. He's done a great job since joining Leviathan, as we know. There was some talk about Com, because, you know, Com's numbers, given the role that he plays, never going to be quite as strong on that team. And Sato says, I see lots of people talking badly about Com here on Twitter. I understand most people are blinded by stats, but this guy is very impactful in the game. It's okay if some of you don't believe, because I believe, and that is all that matters. Also, Sato, kind of like a nice little self-bit of gas there in the reply, or in that final comment, because he's like, yeah, I'm him, right? I'm the guy that matters on this team, so if I believe in him, I ain't going anywhere, he's not going anywhere either, which is probably fair enough as well, given that they found this clearly great asset on that roster. Vitality Gentlemates happened in EMEA last night, and I think in some respects this was just a loss for both teams. Vitality, you know, they got over the line, they crept over the line, and I mean, Gentlemates are just funny, aren't they, really? Like, they did it again. We know that these guys choke so hard, and they decided to just throw in another one, just for old time's sake. They lost the Corrode on their map pick 13-4. It's like, damn, Vitality are back. Look at them go. Unfake and Kovac topping the numbers in terms of rating. Durka 19 and 14 on the Yoru. Les was on the Chamber. So, you know, good map out of Vitality. That was on the opponent's map pick. But then the Lotus, on Vitality's pick, they then go down to Gentlemates 13-9. But then the Ascent, I mean, you know, it was another honestly classic, wasn't it, really? And yeah, it's an Ascent. Gentlemates go up 8-4 on the defensive side. But, you know, when you've gone up 7-1, you can't really lose 13-10, right? But this is just what they do. And, you know, congratulations, they did it again. But Vitality, will they be happy about this? Like, the way that things went, they scraped past a team that can't win. You know, it's not great, is it really? So, Vitality, as Durka says, GG's, well played, Gentlemates, well played, or, you know, GG's, Gentlemates, well played to them. We were sloppy, happy to claim at least a W. Hopefully see you in the playoffs. Props to the comeback. I think they're in the playoffs anyway. We'll have a look at how that transpires in a second. Heretics 2-0'd, Giant X. This didn't last very long. It's not really worth talking about. Ascent was 13-7, and then the Haven was 13-3. Bit of a disaster class for Giant X, but also Heretics continuing their recent run of form. I thought that win from Vitality would have been enough, but it's actually not, depending on the result of today. So, BBL versus FrosT, that's the final game in Group A, and the winner of that, so if BBL win and FrosT lose, then it's FrosT and Vitality that are both at 2 and 3, and Vitality beat FrosT in the head-to-head, and therefore they will get the 4th seed. If BBL, however, were to lose to FrosT, then BBL actually beat Vitality in their head-to-head, and as a result, Vitality would come out. So Vitality need to hope that FrosT were to lose, then they would beat them on the head-to-head, and even then, Vitality are going to make the playoffs in the 4th seed, even if they do. Then it's not going to be ideal exactly there. Now, PaperX, they officially qualified for the World Championship as of yesterday. We will see how that result played out in just a second. And we're going to start right about here. So PaperX took down T1. It was a 2-0 in the end. This was enough for them to qualify, and frankly, this was pretty impressive. It was a 13-8 on the Sunset and then a 13-6 on the Bind. Jing's officially back, leading into the World Championship, a 24-9 here on the Rays, and that was enough to get them over the line. Now, I will just quickly talk about Patmen, because he did this post on Facebook or whatever, qualified for the World Championship in Paris. Final boss though is his visa. So it seems that it's not been officially confirmed yet. Of course, you would hope that everything can get sorted in time, but Champions now starts in less than a month, so PaperX have couple of weeks to get everything signed off and approved, but maybe, I don't know, it's interesting when he says final boss visa. Have they been applying for it and it's not been approved yet and therefore it's a hurdle? Or has he not applied yet and they've just a realization that, okay, we've got to get this sorted, but it'll probably be fine. Either way, hoping all the best, right, for these players, because it was often a thing with Japan and other regions where getting visas for certain players proved to be a challenge. You would think that there would be no issue here for PaperX and Patmen, but I guess time will tell on that one. But congratulations to PaperX. They've qualified for yet another international tournament. They qualified for pretty much every single one over the last several years. And, well, they've done it again. And who knows if they can actually win one again this time around. This, though, was the big drama. We saw it unfold yesterday with DRX. They won the game 1 against Talon on the binds. This, in many respects, Talon will feel like they probably should have won this one. The Haven, though, Talon bounced back, and then as we saw yesterday, the Lotus, Talon had a phenomenal start to the map, and they ended up closing out the series. So this was dramatic because of these two. So we looked at some of the history of the beef between Termi and FrosT in some detail yesterday. But a lot of it stems from rumours around scrim leaks, FrosT believing that Termi was involved in DRX, like sharing scrim data with other teams. Termi denied that and said that there was some level of misunderstanding, and there was also other things that played into it as well. That was one of the big cruxes of the matter. But the reality is that of all the beefs in Valorant, this is the most legit. Like, this is the most legitimate rivalry right now in the sport, and it's pretty funny to think about, right? But because some rivalries, I wouldn't say they're made up exactly, right? But there are some rivalries that maybe this team doesn't really hate that team. It's just it's kind of there for show. Whereas these guys genuinely heavily dislike one another, and they're both coaches on different teams in the same region. So it's obviously going to be fantastic. That's what we saw yesterday transpire. So when the guys walked out, as we saw this yesterday, just when it was unfolding really, FrosT decided, well, he wasn't making any intention to shake Termi's hand, and Termi didn't even look at the guy as they got ready for the series to be played. So as we saw, Talon ended up winning, DRX dropped down to the losers bracket. Then we got loads of replies. Deryon from GE says, I know FrosT is having the best sleep of his life tonight for sure. And FrosT then says, I'm right here, bro. Nah, I gotta deal with the dinosaurs. So this guy is hilarious. Now, you guys might remember the last time that they played one another, they lost Talon, right? DRX won, and DRX did this tweet, get humbled, manners maketh man, right? So, this was a big commenter last time, and that's why I was hoping that Talon beat them yesterday, because it would allow the other side of that story to return. This is why it's especially dramatic, is because there was all this talk about, FrosT, you should get your manners to be on point, right? This whole disrespect thing, it's not working and it's making you lose, you're getting humbled and all this. But in the playoffs, when it mattered a little bit more, and look, they might end up matching up with one another again. It might not be over yet, this saga, but on this occasion, they took the win. And as FrosT says again, the double standards are wild. Certainly you don't take it out on the players, right? And FNS is like, what do you mean by that? But I think it's pretty obvious what he means, because it's in reference to this moment that happened after the series. So this is as soon as the series is over, Talon get the win. And as usual, the players go and fist bump after the games, including the coach as well. Here's FrosT, happily fist bumping the other players. Now, if Termi was there, he wouldn't be fist bumping Termi, right? Termi wouldn't be fist bumping him. But Termi didn't come out. Termi wasn't here. After they lost the series, Termi didn't walk out on the main stage again, didn't congratulate the other team, and look, we don't know what happened. We don't know the full story, but the implication would be that Termi was, salty about the loss or whatever, didn't want to come out on stage and congratulate Talon and face the other team, or even look FrosT in the eyes or something. So he ended up just sitting out backstage, and as a result, it caused even more drama, because people are now like, well, hang on a second, DRX were giving it large about manners maketh man, and now when it's actually time to get humbled yourself, you can't even come out on the main stage to suck it up. That was the implication. Now, Jordan Belfort, aka Zelsis, tweeted this out. Need to start following this drama because this is too funny. Now, whether FrosT actually did this, obviously nobody's ever gonna know. But FrosT says, damn well I would have just done it if I wanted. I was chilling. I knew what was about to happen in that series. I was just waiting for it to be over. So, FrosT is basically saying, yeah, we were so well prepared. We knew that we were going to beat those guys. And that's exactly what they went on to do. So, this is the way the bracket lines up. Talon get the win. They will play PaperX in the upper finals. Talon therefore move one match away from making it through to the grand finals. But the lower side of the bracket is absolutely stacked. Of course, you make the grand finals, you qualify for the world championship. Now, the lower bracket is absolutely stacked now beyond belief, because DRX are down there, Gen.G are down there, T1 are down there as well. And like none of these, apart from Paper X, no one else is guaranteed to make it to champions. It's possible that both DRX and Gen.G make it because of the way the championship points line up, but it's actually far from guaranteed. Like if Talon lose, then I think it's still possible for DRX and Gen.G to both make it. But it's plausible that they don't. So this game has just concluded. DFM, despite showing some promise for the Japanese region lately, they go down to Nongshim. Wasn't especially close, 13-6, 13-10 in the ends on the Ascent. And RRQ Gen.G is just getting underway. It's currently 4-3 on the Haven to Gen.G so far. So, look, you're expecting Gen.G to make it through here. They will then play DRX in the next rounds if they were to win that series, which again, they might not, but it's like, it's so all to play for at this point that the Pacific just continues to deliver on all fronts. It delivers in terms of unpredictability. It delivers in terms of drama. You know, what can you not like about this region? We also have some quick scrum mucks to go through. We'll say some interesting results here. G2 were down 6-12 to 2G, which is, you know, surprising. They did also have some other good results, like G2, they were playing somebody and they're up 19-4 was spotted here with Baby Bay. So, again, I don't know what's going on at G2, I keep saying it, but we'll see what happens in due course. Sentinels, MIBR, Lev, they all had some scrims, I don't really know who they're playing against. G2 were also playing Furia, and they were actually down 10-9 to Furia, which was kind of interesting. As I say, they did have some other good results here, such as this one. They also played Fury or another map. They're up 10-1, so not to say that G2 are all of a sudden washed up. Don't know why that's on the screen, but you know what I'm trying to say. So very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
For Talon.
Wait, are they going to fist bump? Are they going to fist bump?
Holding their heads high, looking electric, taking down the #1 seed from the opposing group. And doing it in fantastic fashion.
What happened? What did he say?
Great, man. Honestly, just a team that has accelerated time and time
What
again
happened
throughout
there?
the group stage in this stage of 2 into the playoffs yesterday, today.
Wait, Termi didn't
They
go?
want to keep this ball rolling.
They absolutely do.
Oh, God.
Still hurdle to jump. And if they can get over that, get into that top 2, then Champs Paris will absolutely be theirs.
Termi dodged
the
the...
trophy alongside it. We're going to
That's
send down
funny.
the stage though with Jen standing by.